You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today we're doing our weekly recap number 46.
I'm really excited for this one.
I'm very excited for this one.
A ton of news.
Like, there's so much news,
week,
and it's exciting to talk about. You know, in the midst of this strike, you're like, we don't know what we're going to be able to talk about week to week. Yeah. But we got some news to talk about, and that's exciting.
We better cherish it while we can.
We better, because
this is going to be
there may be a week
long
where we're rating what our favorite, books are.
Dude, what's your favorite type of grass?
What's my favorite type?
The green one? Dude, number one.
The green one that grows upward.
From the brown.
From the brown.
Like, just identify colors.
What top 10 colors?
The blue.
Top 10 colors. 10 is
10
brown.
has to be. You think it's 10? I think
10's brown.
I think brown is in the top 10. No, dude, yellow is outside the top 10 in my opinion.
You think so? But it's a primary. It's like one of the original three.
It sucks though. I think we can all agree top 3 blues in there.
Blue in there, green's in there.
With the green's top 5.
Green's
personally, I love
me.
purple and pink, but I think you could put black in there or red. I think
it vice versa. I gotta go. But blue and green's the most common colors you see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with the color, maybe we'll do our top 10 color video in the future.
Come back next week.
Come back next week. Top 10 colors. There you go. You got something to look forward to. Yeah. All right. So again, to get into the news to talk about this week, we got again the writer's strike and acting strike, and along with that, the concerns of many of these strikers are the use and the
regulation of AI.
Yeah. And now it's been reported that Disney is apparently wanting to utilize AI to cheapen things and to make things cheaper in those kind of things, whether it be writing or whether it be, I guess, CGI or whatever else that would be. And honestly, it's scary. Like, you feel that way too?
Nah, listen, man, it's completely scary. And first of all, I gotta tell you this really funny comment on the post. So the top comment was like, this move might actually improve Disney's writing recently. I was like, bro, imagine. But I mean, like, from a business point, I understand. They're trying to cut costs, but at the same time, like, this is why the writers are on strike. Like, they're worried that big companies are gonna turn strictly to AI to write all their movie scripts. So I mean, I'd be terrified too if I was a writer.
Yeah, I mean, it is and then there's your argument that, like, some people say, like, well, what if AI can, like, cure cancer, or what if AI can do this, or what if AI can do that?
Cure cancer.
But my question is, what if AI, evolves and kills us all?
What, the Terminator?
Like Terminator, or like
I was just watching that the other day.
iRobot, or something like those. Like, what if that happens? You know? And then I'm gonna go find Will Smith and I'm gonna go hang out with him. But like,
someone who has experience.
Somebody has experience, with the robots and then slapping people. It's handy.
Slapping people.
But like, it is a scary threat. Like, AI is something that's like, okay, it's getting rid of jobs, it's cheapening these people's work who work hard on these things, and all of these different objects. So I mean, the whole idea of using it towards the benefit and like really eliminating jobs is just very much questionable. And it also seems like it would definitely be like detrimental to the economy as well.
Yeah, I mean, and this is taking away the livelihood of all these families. Like, these writers, like, they're not compensated fairly well, but like, that's their main thing. Like, they write for it, and now their jobs are essentially just on the line. Everything, their careers, everything they worked hard for are just about to be thrown out the window. So I don't think that this strike is just going to end. And it makes me sad that these big companies they aren't listening at all. Like, they're far more concerned with their profits than they are like the livelihood of these people's families.
And one thing I do respect is Jimmy Kimmel. I don't typically like Jimmy Kimmel, but I do respect what Jimmy Kimmel did here. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel paid all of his crew and all of his writers and all the people that are working there out of his own pockets to continue doing the show and stuff. And he got the studios, and he pays them out of their own pockets for their money now.
He's doing that?
He's doing that, and I completely respect that.
No way, I didn't know that.
That's a W move. Like, that's really awesome that he's doing that. And I wish other people do that as well, but it's so scary to think about. Like, my sister-in-law Peyton, she went to Galaxy Con in Raleigh, North Carolina last weekend. Yeah. And I unfortunately didn't get to go due to scheduling conflicts, but she went. And, usually they have a plethora of actors, the plethora of voice actors and stuff. None of them were allowed to talk about like media or anything like this. You had people talking about like the music industry that they do or other stuff, or just like being like, hi, I'm this person. I can't tell you what I was on. I can't talk about it, but I'm that person and I've been on that. That's just all they could say. Strike. Really? And that's really wild to think about.
That's interesting.
It's really shown how much it has affected people.
I will say though, on a lighter note, I really have appreciated like not being spammed with like Jimmy Fallon and James Corden videos on YouTube now that it's done.
But I do love Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's one of the good ones.
He's the best one.
All the homies hate James Corden though.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, so now we got to move on to our actual news portion of the podcast. Talking about, we got some DCU news and we got MCU news as well. Okay. So we'll start with DCU because it's really some interesting news that we got to talk about and really just divulge in. Because first off, this one shocked me. This one, you sent this to me, and I was really confused because a couple months ago we thought it was canceled and it was never coming to light. Yeah. But now it's been reported, and Get Fandom posted it, so obviously it's got to be true. I mean, they're verified, and that really are a good source. And that being Wonder Woman 3 with Gal Gadot is in development once again.
I don't understand this.
I'm so confused. I'm like, did James Gunn approve this as like an Elseworlds project, or I know Patty Jenkins is no longer involved. Yeah, which is good.
Well, definitely, I would say
it's debatable. Good movie, the first Wonder Woman was good. Movie, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But Patty Jenkins no longer. I love Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
She said, I think in their interview that like it was with Gunn's approval. So I don't listen, man. If it's Elseworlds, it's fine, right? But if not, it's like
what about Henry Cavill?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the question.
And how our audience is going to feel seeing like David Cornsweet's Superman alongside her.
That's my thing. Is I feel bad for David Cornsweet because I think he'll be a great Superman. I really genuinely do. But I feel like a lot of these people will hate on him and constantly bicker him because of the fact that he took Henry Cavill's job away, essentially. And it's not his fault, but if you're going to approve Gal Gadot coming back, you approve Jason Momoa coming back as the respective characters, then why did you do the thing that you did to... Yeah, Zachary Levi apparently maybe too. Then why would you do that to Henry Cavill, who is essentially a perfect Superman?
Yeah.
That's
who like understood the character better than all.
I do trust James Gunn, but some of these things that he's saying and approving, I'm very much questioning.
I know. Listen, man. Honestly, I don't like it. I mean, they just need a clean break, start afresh. Absolutely. I was thinking of an analogy. It's like breaking up with your girl, but then like dating her best friend. It's like you broke up with her, but you still have that connection, right? And it's gonna be bad for y'all's relationship. Like, just date somebody else, make a clean break. Bringing over Gal Gadot, as much as we all love her, like it's not fair to the other actors, like Ben Affleck, especially Henry Cavill.
Right, and it really confusing to me because if you're gonna bring back Gal Gadot and then bring back Henry Cavill for like a month for just to it be taken away again, it's just absolutely devastating. I love Henry Cavill.
He's so bad for him. Dude. He kills everything he's in, but it's like everything he's in, like they always just end up like deviating from the source material. Like I'm thinking of Witcher right now. Like season 1 was pretty accurate to the books, but as it went along, I mean, Henry Cavill said, "I'm out after season 3" because they just started like dumbing it down for the American audience. And that's the one thing I
love about Henry Cavill is he cares so much about the roles he plays because he's such a nerd. Too.
I know, like he's read the source material.
Absolutely.
He knows
he
what
plays
the
games. He does this, all this stuff, whether it be The Witcher, whether it be comic books. Yeah. He's a nerd as well. So he cares about what he's doing, and he loves to be Superman, and it's just so devastating thinking that he won't beat it again unless they come out and be like, Man of Steel 2 is actually coming out. And I'm like, what?
Elseworlds, I don't know. Which I would still go see.
Absolutely. But, Yeah. All right, so next piece of news is we got Zack Snyder trying to stay relevant again. Listen, Zack Snyder, I don't like I don't like him. I mean, I like not as a person. His person seems fine, but I don't like him in the way that he's the writer, director, studio. I don't like it. I mean, he's darker and that kind of tone I love, but the whole thing, what he originally did with DCU is why it was like it is now.
Yeah, but I mean, like at the same time, Warner Brothers didn't give him like full control.
That's true, but once he did though, like he still didn't.
But like his projects were always the best and like the best well received, even if they weren't great. You know what I'm saying? Like personally, like man, his dialogue sucks and his pacing is poor, but like he had like the coolest cinematography.
He does have cool cinematography. Shots, I completely agree.
Ever and some cool action scenes. Yeah.
But again, him trying to say he's like. Okay, discussing how Reverse Flash was planned to be the ultimate big bad of the DCEU, and it was originally going to end with Flashpoint Paradox, which I think is really cool.
I think would have been really cool to see.
I think that would have been awesome.
I have a hard time just seeing the lead up to that in his movies,
There wasn't. I mean,
it made it seem like it would be Dark Side.
It seemed like it would be.
Like there wasn't a huge emphasis on the Flash's character.
No, there wasn't yet. We saw in the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League the whole world where Superman turned bad and the kind of injustice kind of tone.
Yeah, I love that scene.
I would have loved to have seen Justice League Part 2 with that. Even though I don't like his world, I would have loved to.
Jared Leto Joker in that
he
like
looks
5-minute clip was it made me want more.
I know that was the Joker we wanted to see.
Yeah,
not what they gave us in Suicide Squad.
I know.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for that piece too.
But it's just. Reverse Flash would have been cool to see, but I think what they probably would have done is like had Barry go back in time to try to erase what Superman had done and the whole apocalyptic world, and then that's how Flashpoint and they did that, which might have been cool, but at the same time, it's just like the whole disconnect of the DCEU was not working, and just him again trying to be like this, that, so the fans would be like, we want them back. Essentially, is what he's doing because he just wants to get back in the project.
And I don't know for a fact that there's a large amount of followers. Like, a lot of people love Zack Snyder.
Well, Zack Snyder's Justice League was mentioned in Barbie.
I know.
Like, that threw me.
I felt called out when they're like, he really likes the Zack Snyder version of Justice League.
That threw me.
I'm like, that's me, babe.
Barbie hit $1 billion, by the way. Second movie to do it this year. So
it took like 18 days. It's like the 7th
that's wild.
Fastest movie ever to hit $1 billion.
That's crazy.
Which I'm not surprised.
No, it had good marketing.
It's well deserved.
But then again, all right, so Suicide Squad. Now we got to talk to you about it. Okay, so there's been some reports. This one is actually very interesting.
Yeah.
And that being the original Ayer cut of Suicide Squad is apparently going to be released.
That's a huge W in my book.
I mean, obviously, I assume they'll do the same thing like they did with Zack Snyder's Justice League, release it straight to Max.
Yeah,
I think that's the move. The move to do anyway. I think that's really cool. That the idea that James Gunn's like, you know what, people deserve to see what your original plan was, and I'm not
and I love James Gunn for that. But at the same time, I don't understand his other decisions. But I do love that he's finally like letting the Ayer cut be known. Like, dude, Suicide Squad is like, it's a stain on the face of planet Earth.
It's a bad movie.
To be honest, like as we see with anything, anytime like there's a director change, anytime there's like a swap up, like the movie sucks. Like think about Justice League, Last Jedi. I mean, they come to mind. Like one director is not going to match what the other director had in mind.
Right.
So like seeing how bad Suicide Squad was, it makes me think like, man, how much better would it have been like if there's one consistent idea.
And the fact James Gunn did the Suicide Squad, the sequel to that movie, which it was a clear sequel, it wasn't a remake. I really think he has more of a connection to those characters. And he's like, this deserves to be seen because that would have been better transition to my sequel. It would have been your Ayer's cut. So we'll see. There's so many scenes I would have loved to see that was in the trailers that didn't make it.
Dude.
And so much like the classic look of Harley Quinn and Joker
more
and all
Margot Robbie. And dude, I freaking loved Will Smith, man.
I loved Will Smith.
Him and
Absolutely.
Margot Robbie were such a big.
They were
the
best part of the movie, and everything else was just not it. But
but
them two, they killed it in that movie.
So I'm really excited to see it.
I'm excited. I don't know when it'll come out. I would assume since it's like already a movie that's been kind of planned and done, they probably have reshoots to do, and I would assume they could get it out by next year to Max if they wanted to. So that would be really cool to see. So maybe we'll see that within the future.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. All right, now it's time for the MCU, and the first piece of the MCU. Oh, this news I love. I just have to talk about it because I love it so much. And that being my favorite person ever. No, not my favorite person ever, but Robert Downey Jr. Love this guy. Is reported that he was seen on set of Captain America: Brave New World, leading people to believe that he may be shooting some past scene sequences as Iron Man.
Yeah, that'd be a big W.
Oh, that'd be such a W.
I think it'd be awesome, but to be honest, like, I don't know, man. I feel like they also need a clean break from his character, at least until Secret Wars. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, they don't want to tarnish his character because his character was so perfect in the Infinity Saga. Like, he had the best character arc and my favorite character in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, it was so perfect, and the way it was executed was so well done that you don't want to tarnish his character. But then again, just to see him again, imagine that audience when they see him
they're
again.
Gonna go crazy.
It's gonna go so crazy.
Yeah,
he's such a popular character, such an awesome actor. Robert Downey Jr. He's such a cool person, and coming off Oppenheimer, he's gonna win that supporting actor Oscar. He's got to.
He killed that.
He got to. But it would be really cool. I mean, I love this guy. I would love to see him in Captain America: Brave New World, but we'll see.
Me too. And as much as I would, like, I just feel like Disney's doing it just for the money. Like, if you told me like he made an appearance, say in like Armor Wars, I think that'd be a little more believable. Like with the flashback with him and Rhodey. But in this case, I don't see how it fits. So I just do feel like it's probably just for the pull of these fans because as you know, Marvel's been kind of spiraling recently. Yeah. So as much as I love it, I just wish they kind of postpone it until like later. It's like when he finally does come in, they're like, boom, holy crap, haven't seen this guy in 6-7 years.
And I also want it to be one thing. I don't want them to even mention it. I want it to just be an absolute shock bomb on everybody when he shows up.
Yeah.
I don't want to even like rumors. To be around.
No trailer,
nothing.
Nothing.
I don't want anything that any speculation will be in this movie because he just needs to be in it and be epic. But we'll see.
I agree.
All right, the next one is we got to talk about Fantastic Four once again. So we already knew Adam Driver turned down the role role. And what we had thought originally was that they couldn't pay him enough.
Yeah.
But then apparently that he didn't connect with the character, which I don't really see the connection either.
Yeah.
And this leads to people possibly the script may not be as good or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I like the director who's doing Fantastic Four. I mean, he did WandaVision. I really liked WandaVision. So maybe we'll see it. But Adam Driver, obviously, he's not going to be in that role.
Yeah. I mean, I respect him for doing it, like knowing that apparently it's not about money. Like, I mean, if you think the character is weak and the script is weak, I think that just needs to, go up to the freaking writers.
He didn't say that
stuff.
He didn't say that that what was weak. He just said he didn't connect with the character. So it could be that it could be that it was a weak script, or it could be like, I'm just not Reed Richards. So
see, I don't think it was about
reasons.
the look. I just think that he didn't see himself as it because of, I guess, maybe who the character is. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to see with
he's
that.
very selective.
But apparently,
with his
I think we talked about this, but I'm not sure. Is that Matt Smith? Is that right? Matt Smith from Morbius. I think we did talk about this. Is one of the front runners for this. I put Matt Rife the comedian for whatever reason in my notes. Not Matt Rife the comedian.
Matt Rife.
Although that would be wild.
that would be a little wild.
But Matt Smith to be possibly in that role as well. But we'll see. But now we got some essentially confirmed. And I'm pretty sure that this one's confirmed casting.
I didn't see
our
any
first official.
verified stuff.
I didn't see any
saying this. It's
verified,
just all
but I saw
rumors
some
at
like
this
creators and see some people being like, she is Sue Storm.
How it's gonna work is
So-
we're gonna finish this episode, put it out, and then it's gonna be confirmed.
I know.
That's how it always
we'll see.
works.
So
dude.
Vanessa Kirby I'm pretty sure she's confirmed to be Sue Storm. She's going to be Sue Storm. I'm pretty positive about that. And I think it fits.
She's a good choice.
I think she's a great choice. She's not like a huge actor, but she's big enough to where it'd bring people in and she looks like Sue Storm. I think it's a good choice.
Yeah.
I like Vanessa Kirby. I think it'll go well there.
She's firing Fallout. Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And apparently Sue Storm's going to be the lead of Fantastic Four is what I've heard a report of, which... No,
Yeah,
like it's got to be Mr. Fantastic.
That's another Disney decision. For
I know,
you.
no, that can't be done. Like she's not the lead of Fantastic Four.
I know it always has been.
It's Mr. Fantastic. It's Reed Richards. That's got to be your lead. So don't do that.
They'll be like, it's not the 1960s anymore.
It's like
man, it's not bad to like.
And I thought this movie was supposed to originally take place in the 1960s. I know, she's not going to be the lead.
I know. At least historically speaking, but. Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, we'll see. And the next one is that now Joseph Quinn is reportedly to now be Johnny Storm, Human Torch. I like it.
I think that's pretty good.
I like Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but that'd be huge for his career. I think he would fit it well.
And he's not like a huge... I mean, he got huge off Eddie from Stranger Things, but before then he wasn't huge, and then it wasn't a major role in Stranger Things. So I think that'd be really cool to see Jason Quinn. And I think he would fit Human Torch, just kind of get that some Eddie spunk to him as well in that role, and that would be really cool to see. Yeah. All right, and then also for Fantastic Four is apparently... We talked about it a couple months ago. I think that Antonio Banderas was reportedly to be playing Galactus. Yeah. But apparently Galactus will be the main villain of Fantastic Four. What do we think?
I don't like it.
I don't either. Because Galactus is a big enough villain to be a villain of a saga.
Yeah, of a saga.
Like a full saga. You have your Thanos and Kang, and I always thought the next one would be Galactus. Yeah. But not of a movie.
But like I've always like at the start of the phase is like the big bad kind of sends one of his minions. In Avengers, Thanos sends Loki. I think it'd be more realistic if he sends Silver Surfer. Or,
I think that would be cool.
Something as a villain.
Like if they send Silver Surfer and Silver Surfer's your villain, and then they convert him later.
They convert him at the end of the movie.
That would be awesome. And I mean, I know it would be kind of a play on of Rise of the Silver Surfer, but if they do it better and then do it more natural, and play it off as an origin as well, I think it would work really well. And I mean, I've been excited for this movie for years since they announced it. So hopefully they nail it. And I know Galactus is a huge, huge villain. And if they do adapt him, maybe they show him and just do it like that. But just don't make him your main villain.
I know. I mean, how is that going to work? They're not beating Galactus.
No, not at all. There's no way. Like they would need like everybody, your Avengers, your X-Men, all body to come together.
Sense.
We'll see what they do. Next up is an actor. I don't know this person, but you might. Jared Padalecki?
Dude, Supernatural, bro.
Supernatural.
He plays Sam for 15. Okay. And then he's in like CW's Walker. Okay. And he's also in Gilmore Girls.
Okay. Well, so a lot of people know him. So he's rumored to be cast as Richard Rider's Nova. What do you think about that?
That's a huge W. Well, he's about... He's about mid 40s, maybe later 40s.
That's a good age. For
Yeah,
Nova.
like
for this Nova.
He has pretty good acting chops. Obviously, like this is more like a fan favorite casting. It would appear like he has a huge following behind him. Good actor, so I don't see a problem.
And apparently,
with this.
there is an upcoming Nova project, like whether it be a movie or a show or a special. So
it needs to be a movie, and I think
it would
people
be a
sleep
movie.
on it. But from what I've heard, it sounds really good.
I would be excited for that. Nova's a cool character. So
I like that guy a lot.
Yeah. All right, next up is some more news about Deadpool 3 being Emma Corrin is reportedly supposed to be one of the villains in the movie. Not necessarily the main villains, but one of the villains in the movie being Cassandra Nova. But Cassandra Nova being Charles Xavier's twin sister with the same powers.
I mean, I feel like we should have heard about this before. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's like Patrick Stewart, you know what I'm saying? If like this is, first of all, like the age doesn't really add up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's probably going to be somebody else, and it's whole ties to the multiverse. Like in the main
James
timeline,
McAvoy's sister.
Yeah, it could be. In the main timeline, Cassandra Nova is probably not.
I've never even heard of her,
Xavier.
to be honest.
I didn't really either, which is really surprising. I didn't know
who
who it
is
was,
she?
but she's the twin sister of Charles Xavier, has the same powers and stuff. So apparently, she's maybe in a different multiverse. This is what happened there, and
maybe
something
she's
like that.
the Professor X in her universe.
It could be, but she's a villain, so we'll see how that translates. But it's interesting. It seems like they're adding a plethora of people. Deadpool 3 just gets me more and more hyped the more I think
so
about
excited,
it.
man.
Oh, I'm so excited for this
gonna be
movie.
so good.
It sounds so good. So I'm so excited for that. All right, now it's time for Matt Reeves' Batman helmet.
Matt
Or
Reeves,
who would win
Batman
in a
helmet.
fight. This is so much fun. All right, I'll pick
I like
first
doing
today.
this. Hypotheticals are always interesting.
It's very interesting to talk about.
Okay. How am I doing today?
We'll do two today. We'll do two. That'll 2 rounds. Oh, okay.
I think this will be kind of interesting.
This could be interesting. Okay, I got Rocket.
I got Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay. Well, this is actually really interesting because if you think about like if it's just Lex Luthor with a suit, then he's Rocket.
Yeah,
will
plus
win.
he has way more resources than Rocket does.
He does. So if Lex Luthor has his armor suit and he has all those resources, it's pretty good.
Gonna be
but
him.
Rocket is super smart. Lex Luthor is too though.
Yeah.
But I think Rocket's smarter.
Nah, he's not.
You don't
Lex
think Rocket's
Luthor,
smarter?
like confirmed, is one of the top 3 smartest people in the DC universe.
Well, he's very smart.
He's like
but
second
Rocket
only to
is
Batman.
also created for those smarts though. Like if you think about it,
I know, but
like,
he goes
creates
toe
his
to
own
toe
things.
with Superman.
That's true. He does go toe to toe
Like,
with Superman.
I'm saying
often,
he's
with Kryptonite.
essentially a Batman. Like he's a strategist. He prepares for his fights.
He is. It's an interesting. I don't know, but
talk
Rocket
about
beat
a rocket
High
with a
Evolutionary
gun.
with his bind. So
That wasn't a fair fight. We all know High Evolutionary is just a lot more powerful.
That's true.
He just scratched his eyes out.
well, that was that incarnation. Then the other incarnation, he uses gravity boots because his whole thing was gravity.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I do think Lex Luthor would win.
I do think Rocket's
with his
mad
resources,
underrated, though.
but I do think Rocket would put up a good fight. Because
Yeah.
Rocket's so smart. He's witty.
He's
but
witty, but
I do think Lex Luthor would win as
know.
well. But
shout out Lex.
I would have preferred Rocket to win because I love Rocket. But
yeah, I do like Rocket too.
All right. Did you already draw one?
I only have this is my third right here.
Okay, we're gonna do 3 rounds then.
Yeah, we're gonna do 3.
All right, that works too.
I
drew. I got 2 as well.
Your favorite character, Iron Man.
Iron Man, a favorite character of Marvel. Clarification.
That's right.
And then I got Loki.
Loki's clapping him.
He didn't before.
In comics, he's a lot
Mm.
more powerful than what he's presented as in the universe.
Loki is a god, but at the same time, like Iron Man, like
He does have a lot of resources.
he has a lot of resources, and plus he beat him once before with his small. And that was the Avengers. That was the movies.
Yeah.
But he beat him once before with the Avengers. And then he also threw the missile up and stuff and did all types of crazy different things. But if Iron Man had his comic suit that is made of the same same armor as Thor's hammer, like he does in the comics, in some incarnations, and he would be.
Yeah, but that's a hypothetical that wouldn't happen.
That is hypothetical.
I think it has to be. I don't know.
I know I'm biased, so I have a lot of bias towards Iron Man, but it depends. If it's no holds barred and it's just his classic Iron Man suit versus Loki, and it's just his classic Loki would probably win.
Yeah.
But then again, though, like Iron Man's he's pretty smart.
He's very smart and he has a lot of resources. He's got a lot of armor, got a lot of missiles, got a lot of bullets. Yeah. But I don't know, man. The God of Mischief.
He's the God of Mischief.
I feel like he could run circles around him.
Yeah, well, it's a good fight. Well, we'll give it to Loki. We'll give it to Loki. But still, that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's definitely tough.
That one is a tough one. All right, my next one for the last round. I got Professor X.
Well, Your guy is winning this one because I drew Hawk Girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Professor X.
Sorry, Hawk Girl, but you are...
Professor X is destroying Hawk Girl.
Respectfully, you are getting clapped.
Respectfully, though, like, not many people can beat Professor X.
Yeah, respectfully.
Like, you just go in the brain and just rip it apart.
All you have to do, is just, like, mind control of
literally he can convince anybody that there's something different, and he could literally go into somebody's brain if he has Cerebro, he could literally find that person, and if he thinks about them hard enough, they're dead. Like,
it's in my opinion, some powers are just too OP, like for superheroes, because like you can capture it really well in comics, either in movies or shows. So I think that's one of those powers. Like he's really humble with it, but if you wanted to, like he could kill everybody.
He could kill literally everybody in the world,
which is way too much power for anybody to have.
Yeah. All right, well that concludes our Matt Reeves Batman Helmet of the Week.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms, so check it out. If you want to stay up to date with all of our news, announcements, and updates, check out our Instagram at Here's in the Moment. We also now have a Cash App, a support link at the bottom of our episodes. If you guys ever decided you want to help donate and help us out on the show, we'd very much appreciate it.
And also a big shout out to our listeners. We had a great amount of downloads. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but that's okay.
That's right, yeah.
We did, but shout out to you guys. We really thank you guys so much for 11,000 downloads.
Yeah, thanks for the love, guys.
Thank you very much. We'll continue to bring you content. We love doing it. We're excited to continue. And again, most of all, we love you 3000.